All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and wherever you are at, and welcome back to the Notwandi channel. Apologies, I haven't really been able to kind of record a video in a while. I was dealing with, I guess, I was sick for the last 2 weeks. I'm way better, back to 100%, and I had dealt with a lot of mental challenges, including, actually, you know what, we'll keep it off camera. But in today's video, I want to talk about mindset and the mindset required to be successful. And it really all boils down to belief. Belief in yourself, your abilities, and to achieve that goal. And you look at every single significant person in history, whether it's in music, arts, sports, can be something stupid like a world record attempt to stuff up, 8 toilet rolls up your arse or something stupid like that. And you look at all of these people and you kind of group them together and you map out their mindset, and really you realize that they all have this kind of, some people like to call it kind of delusion in a sense, because it's true, right? Because in that context, or that the way people view them, it's almost, they are in ways delusional. Because when they tell you they want to achieve this thing, and then you think of it, it's like, damn, you are one delusional clown. How can you possibly imagine that you can achieve this? It's impossible. It's never been done. And that is where I want to really nail, the nail into the head of a nail into a plank in this video today. Is I wish I had this kind of reinforced when I was much younger, and my goals and dreams and whatever I wanted to achieve is a self-belief in your abilities to achieve the impossible. That is what I really want to get across today. And you look back in history and think of, we'll use someone like Thomas Edison, for example, and we'll give it a little bit of context, because no one had ever done or was trying to do what he was doing. And I'm talking historically. I know there's a lot of fallacies and all these historical inaccuracies, but for the sake of this video, he did invent the light bulb. But then people back then, I think, 100 or so years ago, were telling him what everyone will tell you when you're trying to achieve something that they can't fathom, and they'll tell you over and over again, it is impossible, it can't be done, you should give up, you failed X amount of times, give up. And what's fascinating is that I find this kind of contradictory in a sense. It's so hypocritical, where when you're a kid, or at least from when I remember, people will tell you the sky is the limit. And then once I got to my teenage years and now my 20s, people tell you the opposite. It's like, we use me for example. I want to become a successful YouTube creator and voice actor, all this kinds of stuff. And people look at me in a way of just delusion, kind of disgust, or just disbelief. They're like, what? You think you can do that? And then they list all these reasons. It's hard to break in the industry. You've been doing YouTube for 5 years and you haven't seen any results. Voice acting, like, where are you going to go with that? Or music, and etc., etc. And I always think back to these people, like we use the Watson brothers, if I'm even correct on this, when in the belief of flight, but we stick to Edison, right? And I thought to myself, imagine if Edison believed in all the opinions of others and all this, I guess, noise of saying it can't be done. But now you look around hundreds of years, like 100 or so years later, everyone's fucking using what he's made. I'm in this very room recording this video, and the light bulb that he innovated or helped, I guess, widespread, we'll say, everyone is using it because he had a belief that it could be done. And no matter how many times he, kept failing and had so many setbacks, he had that ultimate belief that I can truly improve the quality of humans and, help them see in the dark. And that's the belief that I think is so, I guess it's weird, it's frowned upon. When you try and explain that your vision, your dreams, what you want to achieve, it's almost just like, no, it can't be done. Oh, it's too hard. It's been done before. There's no way you can. It never ends. This noise and these people. And what really hurts sometimes is that you hear these, I guess, opinions that it can't be done from the people you care about the most, your friends and your family. It's quite crushing. It feels like you've been punched by the person you love as hard as they could, but then the punch itself doesn't hurt as much as the emptiness and disappointment you feel afterwards. And it's challenging, it's difficult to kind of have this self-belief within you when you've got the whole world saying you can't do it. It's impossible until it becomes possible. And one thing I like about all these stories, I guess everyone has had doubts, and you look at sometimes CEOs where, you can't be done, is that their ability to tune out the noise despite everyone telling them it can't be done was what really inspired me to kind of record this video as I was walking home from work, and I was like, what do I really want to achieve in my life? And I look back and I reflect on the child and my teenage years and all the years that I've been on this planet, even though I haven't lived, per se long, right? But I asked myself, what do I really want to achieve that people have been telling me it can't be done? And it was YouTube. And I will say this now, I truly believe that I could become one of the greatest YouTubers. I know it's very cringe using the term YouTubers, but in terms of making videos and providing entertainment, I believe I have the capabilities to do so. And some might say, like, in the last 5 years, you haven't achieved little to nothing on the channel, but I believe that in a delusional sense that those 5 years of not achieving or failing have taught me more than anything that I've done. It taught me how to really, I guess, improve my editing, think of better video ideas, and most importantly, learn how to talk, communicate. That was a skill that it took years to develop. And people say, like, why are you working this 9 to 5? Is it even going to help you make better videos? And I'm, yes, it did. It helped me break out of my shell, and I learned how to really articulate and communicate my words in a better and more coherent way. Damn, I was going to sound so cool, but I just stuffed it up. But life never goes to plan in that way. But in the coming videos and the videos that I'm making now, this is a skill that took years for me to develop, able to talk in front of a microphone, how I'm thinking right now, and I'm just staring at a screen at a wall with nothing, and I'm just talking out of my ass. But I have gotten so much more, I guess, comfortable being able to talk to people. It's a very underrated skill. I'll make probably a separate video in the future, but I want to kind of link this to belief that I believe that I can make one of the best videos on YouTube. And that is a fact. And I will not let someone, deny that. And bringing that, I guess, kind of self-belief is such a powerful tool, and is what will, to anyone that's even listening this far into the video, that is what will propel you to achieve the things that you want. It's the power of self-belief. It is, I don't know how to really explain it, but it's this conviction where, the boats are burned, there's no turning back, and you have your back against the wall. There's no results. You've been doing this for years, and people are still telling you, like, why are you still doing this? You've got nothing. And at this point, you kind of reflect and think, okay, I have exactly but two choices. I either, you either just accept that, I've given my all, it's just luck, and you come up with all these, I guess, external factors, excuses, so to speak, about, it never really have worked out. Or you look inwards and you remember why you started it, why you are doing this. Because if you're not justifying the suffering, it's like it becomes a point where it's like, why are you enduring all this hardship for? And this applies to anything you're trying to achieve. It can be something stupid like, oh, I want to, roll up 1,000 toilet papers in one go without a single toilet sheet breaking apart. I'm saying this because I'm looking at a toilet roll that I have in my room, which is just hilarious to me. It's just the fact that no matter how many times people tell you and the world just pushes you down, you always come back to the thing that you want to try and achieve. And to me, personally, that is when you realize, okay, what I want to achieve and what I'm passionate about is truly something that I love to do, and it is my calling in life. I feel like that's how you figure out what you want, is you do it for years, not even earning a single cent, and not seeing any kind of success, but yet you still come back to it despite all the hardships in life, despite life taking its fucking dick out and slapping you in the face back in and back out, and all the shit things, all the loss, all of it, and yet you still come back to it. And that's when I realized I truly love to make videos. That was my reason, and my self-belief of why I keep, recording videos with little to no success, because I hated how arbitrary, YouTube success is measured, because it's all about numbers. But in a way, you get all those numbers and views when you make good videos. It's just, that's the core of YouTube in that, I guess, sense. But linking it back to self-belief, and you have to ask yourself, if you're letting that voice in your head, because this is what happens when, I guess, you're trying and you have this self-belief and you're not achieving it, that voice comes into your head, that doubt, that voice of, it was never going to work out, it's worthless, give up, it's pointless. This voice is roaring in your mind telling you to give up. But then you get to a certain point and you kind of look at this voice and be like, why do you think that? And there's silence. The voice just pauses. And then it makes up more excuse. Oh, but this, but then like, why do you think that? And then you realize in life that voice of doubt as a result of all the failures you've endured, and with all these people telling you and the world telling you that it can't be done, that this voice had kind of developed into this like roaring sense of doubt and insecurity that you hadn't realized how much had grown. Excuse me. But I will say this, is that if you let that voice, and if you let that person or anyone in that regards, I guess, question who you are and make you stop believing in yourself and what you want to achieve, who even are you? Take some pride and belief in yourself. You've made it this far in life. You will never be perfect, and that's okay. You've made a lot of mistakes. We all have. And yet every day you chose to wake up, drag yourself out of bed, and keep living. If that isn't like a sign of self-belief and that you have the power to achieve anything you want, I don't know what is. And if you're gonna let some voice in your head and all these people in your life tell you that it can't be done, you are not enough, is fucking bullshit. You can achieve what you want to achieve. It's literally up to you. And that's the message that I wanted to get across today, is that you cannot succeed without this self-belief, this self-conviction that what you're trying to achieve is something special. It can be stupid, right? As long as it's not harming anyone. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, with every successful person, when they had this moment of belief and clarity that what they want to achieve is something special, man, it can help people, even make them smile, or something, anything like that, is that they realized that they don't have to explain what they want to achieve to others. And instead of constantly explaining what they're trying to achieve, they just do it in silence without announcing it to the world. And they keep building, they keep innovating, they keep creating. So this is kind of the message I wanted to convey, and a message I wish, I got a bit serious there in the moment, but this is kind of a message that I wanted to give to my younger self. If I had that kind of, session where I can go back 5 years and give this kind of message. I've gone way over the time limit. I didn't realize I've been talking for about 18 minutes. It's insane. I don't know if anyone's going to watch this to the end, but that is the message. If you don't believe in yourself, who will? Regardless, if you made it this far and you listen to my rant of belief and think I'm some delusional weirdo on the internet, thinking that someone with a measly 400 subscribers could achieve and become a memorable creator, then that's fair. But I believe. But thank you for watching and listening. And most importantly, I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace.